The Rock was the most vicious fighter of my time.
Ooh, he hit hard.
Bro, wait, dude was on the ground, bro. Look at this.
Marciano, The Rock was the most vicious fighter.
Look. Dude was on the ground and he stole him, fam. He was already out, bro. It was unnecessary, my guy. What is good, YouTube? We are back at it again. This is Keith versus Star. We are going to keep bringing y'all content, keep making videos, keep it going. This was a video that was actually suggested to me to react to by one of the subscribers on the channel, and I'm finally getting back to it. It's been a minute since we've been putting out videos, so we're gonna do a bunch of videos today, and they're gonna be coming out really quickly. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share the video if you like it. This is Rocky Marciano's greatest moments, or the real life Stallion Rocky Marciano. It's basically like a documentary about him. So I'm gonna watch this, react to it, let y'all know what I think. I'm not really a boxing fan, so we'll see how it goes, man. Let's get right to it, man.
Ah, Rocky Marciano. You kind of remind me of The Rock, you know that? You move like him, and you got heart like he did.
The underdog story of Rocky Balboa, a perfect encapsulation of the heart and spirit that the non-fictional Rocky displayed in real life. A fighter with an unmatched tolerance for pain, who endured more agony in just 2 of his fights than most boxers do in their entire career. He welcomed pain,
fuck buddy
but was
up.
frightened of defeat. His record speaks for itself. He was a man who refused to accept defeat 49 times. Rainy Day Boxing brings you Rocky Marciano, a boxing legend.
I'm gonna link the video in the description too if y'all want to watch it.
Division, always coming forward, always pressing, pounding his opponent.
You have to rate Rocky.
He was on the ground, bro.
Because of his longevity and his record.
If you could pick any heavyweight champion in history, who do you think would have given you the toughest fight of them?
The toughest fight would be the man who's the hardest to knock out. A fellow who had no style, just a bull, was Rocky Marciano. He would be the most trouble, I think.
And still the heavyweight champion of the whole
Damn.
world, Rocky Marciano.
Born on the 1st of September 1923 in the small town of Brockton, Massachusetts, Rocky was raised in a blue-collar household by poor Italian immigrant parents. The seeds of determination were sown into the young Marciano as he watched his overworked father struggle tirelessly at a shoe manufacturing company. Rocky determined that one day he'd make the American dream a reality for his family. In 1943, Rocky was drafted into the Army, and like many young soldiers, Marciano joined the service's boxing program.
Bro, look at it.
While Rocky was an all-around athlete in his youth, he had...
Hey, Floyd Mayweather beat his ass, man. Let's stop it, bro. It's just cool. It's a cool video, bro. But, man, it's the same thing like they say about NBA, NFL, all that, man. Like, yeah, back then he was nice, man. Somebody a fuck buddy up, man.
never excelled in one sport. But once the war was over, his newfound passion of boxing offered a realistic path
How old was he?
Always dreamed of.
When baby Rocco was just 1 year old, he contracted pneumonia. The thought at that point was, will young Rocky survive at all? In fact, the doctor who was attending to him said if this baby does survive, he's going to do it on spirit alone. And that became the hallmark of Rocky Marciano's career.
And growing up in Brockton, he really believed in coming from poverty to success.
He used to get very upset when he used to see my dad working at such a tough job. He promised my dad one day, he said, "Dad, not before too long, I'll retire you."
But unlike many of the stories of a fighter showing an immediate aptitude for the sport, Marciano's introduction to boxing was a less than promising start.
Really?
It seemed nature had blessed Rocky with a physique that was perfectly designed to be disadvantaged in the ring. He stood 5 feet 10 inches tall with a measly 67-inch reach and fists smaller than every heavyweight champion in history.
What?
He was a clumsy prospect with 2 left feet that most trainers would not have had the patience to work with. But
Man, he
Charlie
for
Gold
sure
would see
getting knocked
Marciano's
out, bro.
advantages that couldn't be listed with numbers. And
They
fighting
be
styles
they
that were not
gassing
visible
this
from the
dude up.
outside.
He could not be described as graceful. Even his trainer, Charlie Goldman, refused to conceal the obvious. He was one of the clumsiest fellows I ever saw in the ring.
Even when he began training, stepped on his own feet and would knock himself down.
How was he winning, bro? This gonna be a situation where this dude basically was beating people because they was beating the shit out of him and he just wouldn't quit type shit. Like he ain't no way this dude was a great boxer. He probably was just a dude who just wouldn't lose type. Like he just got a bunch of heart. He just all heart, no skill type.
He had to overcome nature's limitations. One critic described Marciano as too short to seriously challenge mediocre heavyweights, let alone to be a contender for the world title.
What?
Here comes this little guy, looks like a fire plug, from Brockton, Massachusetts. All the smart sports writers say, guy's a Neanderthal type. He can't fight, he can't do anything. He keeps knocking everybody out.
Marciano was small for a heavyweight, even by the standards of those earlier times.
Y'all gonna have to make this make sense to me,
built
bro.
upon the most dedicated training regimen boxing has ever known.
He was dedicated. I don't think anybody ever worked harder than Rocky.
Far more than most professional boxers, Marciano is a guy who likes to train. An unusual feature of Marciano's training routine is batting this giant-sized bag. It weighs 270 pounds, about 4 times heavier than the ordinary type, and it was designed and made especially for him. Under the careful eye of trainer Charlie Goldman, Marciano developed into a first-class fighting man. After sparring 225 rounds in training camp, he definitely appears to be in tip-top shape.
Despite his somewhat rugged technique, when it came to trading blows with Marciano over 15 rounds, skills were never what paid the bills. In the ring, Rocky was both an immovable object and unstoppable force. Appropriately nicknamed The Rock, Marciano had fists of stone and the finesse of a boulder.
Okay.
There was no subtlety or style hidden in the madness.
So he was just knocking niggas out.
He was a man obsessed with victory. His opponents were facing onslaught that was fueled by.
He was like the small white version of Deontay Wilder,
after the nerve damage that was done by Marciano's pounding.
Damn.
And whilst Rocky rained blows on his foes, any attempt they made to return fire upon him only served to create openings for Marciano and further seal their fate.
This man could fight. He would swarm all over you just throwing punches. He'd hit you anywhere. Hit you in the arms. Hit you on your soles of your feet if he could find them.
Just pounding his opponent on the ropes. He only knew one way to fight, and that's to come forward, go murderous punches for 15 rounds until the opponent went down.
The hell, you saw that?
And I'm not gonna stop until the bell rings.
A final devastating combination.
What the fuck?
Marciano, The Rock, was the most vicious fighter of my time.
Ooh, he hit hard.
Bro, wait, dude was on the ground, bro. Look at this.
Marciano, The Rock, was the most vicious fighter.
Look. Dude was on the ground and he stole him. He was already out, bro. It was unnecessary, my guy. What am I watching?
My time.
Ooh, he hit hard.
I did a computer fight with him. When he was an old man just pretending, and my arms are sore just from joking with him.
There it is, and down goes Matthew.
The energy of Marciano's punch was equivalent to an armor-piercing shell.
Marciano's hitting him in all kinds of unorthodox spots.
And Joel was covering up, and he was really taking a lot of pain. He told me about that. He said, "This man,
he fucked that boy perm up, didn't he?
So bad. That's
oh my God. Oh.
Ball! As he continues his relentless attack.
His legs are gone. He's down again.
One of Rex Lane's friends described Marciano's knockout punch as shearing Lane's front teeth off at the nubs. Charles, his voice reduced to a whisper from a Marciano punch to the Adam's apple, Savold was hospitalized overnight because his teeth had been smashed into his gums. Lastarza suffered bone damage and broken vessels in his arms.
This nigga.
Rocky waves are right on high. Marciano could probably go another 15 or 20 if he had to.
The word fear wasn't in Marciano's vocabulary, and pain had no meaning to him.
Bro,
but
what is wrong with this dude?
Easily achieved for Rocky. Cuts over his eyes and inside his mouth were all par for the course of a Marciano fight. His battles were not for the faint of heart.
Look at his nose.
Toughness. Whatever his opponents gave him, he'd take it and return it tenfold. Marciano had no concept of retreat, and he had only one response to adversity, and that was war.
Rocky Marciano was
this dude is like the purest definition of fight or flight. Like he don't have no flight in him. He just fight constantly. He ain't got that in him, bro. That's this. I'm offended by the fact that this white dude beat that dude up with a perm, man. I'm offended by that, man.
Man, ever to fight.
He liked the sport. He liked getting hit, and he liked hitting. Punches didn't seem to bother him. He just kept coming on. It looked like he was made of stone, man.
Marciano got to me by this sheer
oh my God! He just eating them.
Grinding, and I mean, I hit Marciano to be shot that would have taken the head off the average guy, but he kept piling up on top of me, and then finally Marciano beat me down.
There he goes. In his own corner.
Marciano had one simple idea in mind: to trade punches and test who could take and give more pain.
He had suffered probably the most bodacious cut in the history of boxing.
That
This
nose.
was a split right down his nose. He feels, as he later relates it, that he's breathing not through his nostrils, but out through the sides of his nose.
In the champion's corner before the 8th round, trainer Charlie Goldman had told Rocky to get him now or you'll bleed to death.
Oh my God. It made my nose hurt. My nose hurt.
Marciano again turned imminent defeat into a stunning triumph.
Marciano's eye and nose are badly cut, but his mean, hard punches are definitely weakening the challenger. Down he goes!
Marciano spent the majority of his career as a prospect, bruising and battering his way up the ranks. But to be seen as a contender, the young heir apparent had to take on an aging legend. In 1951, Rocky was matched up against the greatest champion boxing fans had ever seen,
Joe Louis.
Joe Louis. The Brown Bomber was well past his best, but he was still a formidable puncher who struck fear into Marciano. The mantle had to be passed on, and it was Rocky's time to prove his worth as a fighter.
Hello, boxing fans, wherever you may be. I'm in good shape for this fight, and I hope I come through all right. Hold it there, Rocky.
He don't sound like he be beating people up.
Now let's do it right. I gotta set
Oh my God.
and really do the job.
Rocky's crowding leaves little room for Louis to punch. Rocky gets in a solid winging right to the head. You can see that Louis feels those punches. Rocky's really pouring it on.
And Marciano really is just the opposite of Joe Louis. Louis would pick his shots when trying to finish his man. Marciano seems to try to throw as many punches as hard as he can, as long as he can.
Oh, damn, Joe.
I've got to get at it, wear him down. Let me loose so I can throw that right.
Marciano
Joe, he catching. Oh my God.
Go to work on the head and body.
Marciano just as strong as ever. Bull-like in his rushes.
Oof.
He's hurt. Marciano pitching with everything he's got. Backs his man to the rope to finish him off. Now watch. A left. Another left.
Joe done. Joe got he was done, bro.
And Joe Louis said, he doesn't really fight by the book, but I got hit by a library tonight.
It was the end of one era and the beginning of another.
Oh my God.
So Rocky Marciano emerged the top-ranking contender for the heavyweight crown.
All right, so who he beat for the crown?
The heavyweight champion at the time, Jersey Joe Walcott, was perhaps
Never
the
heard
slickest
of
of all the heavyweight champions in history, and the complete opposite of the crude and sluggish Marciano.
That sound like you gonna
To see
lose.
the contrasting matchup of the youthful and ferocious Rocky against the experienced and crafty Walcott.
Rocky was ready for the title.
Never heard of this Wildcat dude.
Was not willing to comply.
Walcott said before this fight, if I can't beat this bum, take my name off the record books. I guess he can punch a bit, but he can't box. I've never seen anyone easier to hit.
Walcott was an aging but classy champion, but many believed Marciano, at 29, was too young, too strong, and too hungry for the champion. 4 more victories, all by knockout, set Marciano up for a tilt at Jersey Joe Walcott's world title in September 1952.
Jersey Joe Walcott finally gave Rocky his chance, and Rocky's dedication really paid off. In his training camp, Rocky boxed 85 rounds, the champion's 30, and he needed every bit of that training.
Oh my God.
Walcott hurt him with the left, knocked him down with
Boom.
the ground, and he was being outpointed badly.
Every punch, he lifted Rocky off.
He was beating
I
hit.
don't think any living human could take the punishment that Rocky took that night.
Oh, Walcott out. My bad, bro. He was fucking niggas up. Oof. Ah.
Marciano survived the torrent of vicious shots from Jersey Joe. Then, from the 7th through 10th rounds, Marciano was fighting with his left eye nearly closed.
Y'all ain't gonna stop this?
Marciano and Walcott here fighting like gladiators, neither one giving an inch.
Walcott was a mile ahead. It didn't make any difference. You could never take away his heart. You see, it didn't matter what you did to him.
And in the 11th and 12th round, he gave Rocky such a beating, I didn't think Rocky could continue. And yet you saw Rocky come out for that 13th
How many
round.
rounds did they?
By the end of the 12th round, the Brockton Blockbusters title bid seemed out for the count. But then one destructive blow changed the course of heavyweight history.
Walcott is back to the rope. Takes it right to the jaw. Walcott is helpless on the rope. It may be a knockout. I don't think Walcott can get up. It's going to be a knockout.
Fam, how long was... I thought fights was 12 rounds.
Here we see both of them about to throw right hands, but Rocky just beat him to the punch. And down goes Jersey Joe Walcott. And we have a new champion.
Rocky was not only the pride of Brockton, but was now...
Fam, if this was today, they would have stopped that fight rounds ago, bro. So you got to think about it, right? Is he? I don't know, man. I'd be hot. I'd be hot if I was beating somebody up for 45 minutes and y'all just keep letting me fight this dude. Like, I'm tired of shit. I've been beating this nigga up for 45 minutes. Eventually, he gonna win. Like, I've been winning forever. He gonna hit me eventually. Like, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it, bro.
Embraced as a hero throughout the country. As a champion, he was shown a love very few fighters have ever received. To the Italian-American people, he was everything they wanted him to be and everything they wanted to be. Even the Mafia respected the fact that Marciano was the positive image that Italian-Americans needed at that time, so they steered clear of him. Rocky was a man unchanged by fame, and he felt it was his duty to represent the heavyweight title with honor.
He was greeted by a parade lining the streets of Brockton to pay tribute to their native son.
Marciano's fans were legion. They shouted his name. They praised him.
Marciano took enormous pride in the fact that he was a role model for kids. Stories of him signing autographs. He would always try to pick out the ones that were shy.
Became champion of the world. He never changed. He was always the same. Great guy.
And what he ended up being was a blue-collar champion.
Hey, that's what's up, though. Like, you get fame, you get fortune, you get all that. You don't let it change you. That's what's up, man. A lot of people ain't like that. There's a lot of people out here who just, bro, you get them a couple dollars and they gonna act different. Like, they ain't even gotta have no fame. You just give them a couple dollars, they gonna be different people. That's just how life goes, though. You feel me?
The little people loved him.
And if you wanted to be anybody at all, you would want to be a Rocky Marciano, you know?
Rocky was a contemporary hero with the traditional values of a simple man who remembered his past.
Greatest desire came true when he walked into the factory one day and he said, "Dad, that's it. I don't want you to work anymore. You're retired."
Retired as daddy.
And I know you're going to go for that golden 50 for sure because you never look better.
I would like to announce my retirement from boxing at this time.
Marciano would only defend his
Why he
title
retired?
6 times after beating Walcott, before surprisingly announcing his early retirement from boxing at the age of 32. Learning from his idol Joe Louis's mistakes, Rocky decided to quit while he was at the top. It was thought by many that this premature retirement wouldn't last, but Marciano kept his word. Rocky never had the opportunity to fight another great fighter in their prime because of the era he fought in. But a fighter's legacy cannot be diminished if he defeated all the opposition of his time. Despite the opponents that were available to him, the record books will always show that Rocky had 49 bouts, 49 victories, and that he retired undefeated.
He was a slugger who many said was too short and too light to contend with real heavyweights. But he did more than contend. He became the only heavyweight champion of the world to retire undefeated.
Marciano was the ultimate example to those who are told they can't, to those who are told they're too short or not athletic enough. An unlikely specimen for a fighter who is truly a case of substance over style. At his core, Marciano was a man of courage, compassion, and humility. He was everything a hero ought to be. And while his reign was brief, the name Rocky Marciano is cemented into boxing's history book and has become legend for all time.
49 fights, 43 knockouts, 49 wins. The man was awesome.
You never saw him lost. You saw him on the brink of destruction, and that's what makes a great champion, when they're on the brink of destruction and they come back.
Rocky fought the guys they put in front of him. That's what any fighter could do. Everyone they put in front of him, he knocked out, he destroyed.
I can compare him to a street fighter with a huge heart, and he never lost.
He wasn't as great as me, wasn't as beautiful, everybody know that, but I don't know if I would have beaten him in his style and my style. He could have outpointed me, he could have knocked me down, could have beat me. In his heyday, he may have won.
Ali called Rocky champ, never Rocky or Mr. Marciano. It was the ultimate sign of respect Ali could show Rocky.
And when they say the word champ, there's only one meaning to it, Rocky Marciano.
Just remember, keep your left hand high, chin down, and keep punching.
All right, man, that was a W video. I do have questions, though, because at the end of that, I ain't trying to rant on my guy Parade, but they said he didn't really box no great boxers in their prime. So I'm wondering, like a what-if type of scenario. Like, Ali said he don't think he would have won, but what do y'all think? Do y'all think Ali would have lost to Rocky Marciano? Do y'all think Mike Tyson would have lost? Do y'all think Joe Louis would have lost to Rocky Marciano? I'm just food for thought, you know what I mean? I mean, you know, I ain't saying he wasn't all that, but I'm saying he had 6 title fights. You know what I mean? He retired at 32. How many great fighters can you say? Like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna be with you, man. He looked like he could definitely fight, though. I'll give him that. He was knocking mugs out. The nose thing is bananas to me. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It's been Keith versus Star. Also, turn the notification bell on and share the video if you would like. And we are out.